Welcome back to the Youth Academy RTG here on FIFA 21, boys. Thank you very much for all of your support so far on Season 6. We continue on today by starting with a game against Everton in 7th. There was an extra video uploaded today, though, so do check the channel page for F1 Story Mode. Obviously, we uploaded a little bit of F1 last year. The new game comes out next week, and via the EA Game Changers program, I was able to get some early access, and I streamed yesterday the first couple of chapters of the brand new story mode on F1 2021, similar to kind of the journey on FIFA 17, 18 and 19. So if you're interested in that, check the channel page for it. The video went live at 12 PM this afternoon. Definitely worth your watch. I edited down the highlights into the best bits. And if you'd like to see some more F1 2021 when the game fully comes out next week, like we did last year with the My Team, the Chesnoid Racing, then do let me know, and I can bring it to the main channel. It's definitely going on the second channel, but if you want it here, then I could bring it over here for you as well. So, Pedro Neto actually remarkably leading the way as top goal scorer. We have to keep our eyes on Dominic Calvert-Lewin today, as he's the third top goal scorer in the league. With Everton, Crystal Palace and Liverpool to play today, with the game against Bordeaux of no real consequence, as we've already guaranteed our progression through in the Europa League. Speaking of the Europa League, the eagle-eyed of you noticed a certain someone at striker for Midtjylland. Chisholm. I hadn't spotted it, but well done, those of you that did. Dave Chisholm, our former man, lining up top, playing in Europe for Midtjylland of Denmark. Fantastic. Really pleased to see his career has led to him playing in Europe, even though overall he hasn't really grown that much. Also, the feedback is to, yes, sign Ferreira Schutter and potentially loan out Lazovic in the upcoming January transfer window. I'll say rotation. If he wants first team, he can have it because he will be going into the first team spot. A 3-year deal, I'll try and get him to sign for 4 just so we never really have to worry about giving him a new deal again, which indeed he agrees on. Recommends a wage of £48,000, but we should be able to get him to sign at about 35, I would have thought. Probably not going to cost too much to get him in, and that would leave us some money in January. It was 38. It's fine. That should leave us some money in January should we decide that we want to do anything else. We've some players here. You guys, or a number of you, are quite keen on the idea of signing Firmino Diaz, but I definitely don't have the finances for that right now. And in the forward areas, I don't really need anyone at this moment in time. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do in January. Lazovic, though, may well go out on loan at your request, and we will put Ferreira Schutter into the starting lineup. Now I'm going to adjust his development plans so that obviously, because his defensive stats aren't amazing, he can basically be trained solidly as a defensive wing-back, and his overall should, hopefully, rocket once those defensive stats come up, because his pace is great, and once the defensive stats come up, maybe a little bit of an improvement in passing, he'll be a wonderful left-back who's already higher rated than the previous man in there, Lazovic, which will help for simmed games as well. I'll just add Lazovic into Rotato. Unfortunately for Cristiano Everando, that does mean that he'll drop to the bench. That's not the one that I wanted to do. Where's Lazovic? There he is. So I'll put Everando on the bench, actually. So we'll still try and get him to first team football, and should we be able to get Lazovic to go out on loan in January, then we will be able to give Lazovic some. Sorry, hopefully Lazovic will get some first team football, and we will be able to give the Marcelo regen a little bit of extra first team football. But Everton first, then Crystal Palace, Bordeaux, and then Liverpool after that. We're currently 9th in the table, but we do have we're 10th in the table, but we do have a game in hand on Aston Villa and could close up on Spurs as well should we win this game in hand. Speaking of Aston Villa, I mentioned in the last episode that I was going to have a look and see how they were getting on in the Champions League, because we were quite surprised to see a side that finished 3rd last year be down in 9th. You might be surprised, or alternatively considering their form last year, might not be surprised to see that Aston Villa actually topped their group. With 5 games played, they've won 4 of them and are actually progressed through to the round of 16 already with a game to spare. Top spot is to be fought out between themselves and Dortmund on the final day, but they've beaten Dortmund, they've beaten Monaco, and they've beaten Spartak. Well, everybody's beaten Spartak Moscow, and Aston Villa will power through to the knockout stages of the Champions League, as we too will power through to the knockout stages of the Europa League. Everton's starting lineup as you see it on the screen there. And moving forward, let's see if we can't get 3 points. Humphrey. Out to Nagy. Salim's making the run down the line. And Van der Voort is there centrally. Look at Hefte putting himself in a good position to receive the ball. What a challenge by Elmas. It will fall though to Salim. Tudor, who's underperformed so far this season, but someone who hasn't is Van der Voort. He's come in and made a difference to this starting lineup. We were playing Matias Gonzalez out on that right-hand side and not getting much from him, just kind of hoping that he would grow at a decent pace so that eventually we would get something from him. But now, being in Europe and needing kind of players that can do the business now and not in a couple of seasons' time, we've bought one. Van der Voort gives us a 1-0 lead here at Goodison Park. Excellent finish on his left foot. Keeper no chance. Despite having a decent defensive line, Everton, with Manuel Akanji and Nathan Aki back there. They find themselves 1-0 down early doors. Niangbo to Elmas. I don't know whether he's right or left-footed, but it doesn't matter if he can't get a shot away at all on either foot. Nagy into Hefte. Tudor is there, but we'll look to ball first. And Lucas Pull on the counter. Look at De La Cruz, busting her gut to get back. Jesus, he's fast, isn't he? We'll lift it. Oh, I was hoping to try and drop it between the defenders so that Tudor could get on the end of that. Lovely first touch by Bull into Hefte. Van der Voort's there. That's a nice ball to Lucas Bull. And back. Pereira shooter! Oh, on debut. Having the chance, but the keeper saves. It's the first time I've had the opportunity to have him touch the ball, I think, Pereira shooter. And he very nearly scored a goal with that first touch. Into Calvert-Lewin. It's well blocked. It'll be a corner for Everton with 10 minutes to go in this first half. Carlo Ancelotti obviously now no longer at Everton. He's gone back to Real Madrid. And away. Everton have got... Actually, who has taken the Everton job? There was talk of Nuno maybe getting it, but Nuno's gone to Spurs. Oh, Rafa Benitez, isn't he? Rafa Benitez has taken the Everton job in real life. Liverpool fans, and to be fair, Everton fans as well. What do you think of that? Even neutral fans, what do you think of Rafa taking over at Goodison Park? It's certainly controversial, to say the least. 4 minutes to go here in this game, and you wouldn't say this result so far has been controversial. We have been the better side. Fulgini, he's got the option down the wing, and he's used it well. And Matti Cassius found superbly, gets it under control. Quickly into the box. Nagy away. Can Hefte, Van der Voort get to that? He can. And Salim is in a great position. Akanji was tucked narrow, and Samo Salim could finish it off here if Bilo hadn't made the save. Under pressure from Manuel Akanji, who tracked back really nicely, showed good pace. That touch was perhaps a little bit too sharp an angle and a change of direction. 2 changes for me, or 3 changes for me actually. 2 at the back, Humphrey off and Nagy off as they were both flagging stamina-wise. And then I've made a change in midfield as well with Matias Gonzalez coming on. Ilo's come to punch. That will fall for Hefte. He hits it well enough, but it's blocked nicely too. Just be calm and composed. Play the right pass at the right time, and we can see this out now. Just 9 minutes to go. 9 minutes to hold on to our 1-0 lead. That's a lovely ball if Lucas Ball can keep that in, but it's bobbling, and I don't think he will. And he hasn't. How long's added on at the end of the game? Just 2 minutes. If we can put the pressure on and pin them in, then maybe we can just wind down the clock. Now only 30 seconds to go. They're going to have to get it forward quickly, which they have done. But Jeremy Boga might not keep that in, and he hasn't. And we will get the 1-0 victory. That is 3 points for the boys. And that should hopefully see us move up the table a little bit. With the game against Crystal Palace coming at the weekend, we deserved the win on chance creation. They had a lot of the ball, but didn't do enough with it. West Brom batter Fulham by 4-1. Oh, is that Sheffield United beating Chelsea? Wow. Sheffield United get a big win for them, especially considering how their season's going so far down the bottom of the table. That's a massive 3 points for them. Derby are off the mark now with 2 points from 15 games, but still yet to win. Not going well for them, is it? Crystal Palace up next for us, a side that we should be beating, really. Where are they? 18th in the table. It's got to be 3 points, this one, hasn't it, really? Crystal Palace have Jack Butland in goal. Fouquet, Iodice, Ginter and Pizzuto as a back four. Udin, Arambari, Gravenberch even, and Kirby. And Mohamed Ali Cho and Malinovsky up top. Cho. Udin. Gimme. Thanks. Go on, Ruben. Oh no, It's Hugo Vidal Pereira. Milic. Tudor hasn't been playing that well this season. not getting the goals that we're used to seeing of him, triggering some calls to maybe see him dropped in the comment section, or a change in formation to see Salim up top on his own and maybe dropping the whole 2-striker option that we have up top at the moment and we've utilised for the whole save so far, and that would be a big call. Tudor, can he bury it this time? Or this time? He can. Firing back at his critics. Damien Tudor eventually scores a goal. Gravenberch to Aaron Barry. Malinovsky, I've seen the space out wide, but by potentially going across to cover that space out wide, I very nearly offered up the opportunity for Aaron Barry to just shoot from the edge of the box. But regardless, they have worked a shooting chance, and Cho has buried it. Crystal Palace fire back, and it hasn't taken them long. It's a good finish, just pure shot power. See, I tried to cover that and thought, he's probably going to shoot, but nice ball round the corner, and just pure shot power that's beaten the goalkeeper there. Decent effort from Mohamed Ali Cho. He's only scored 3 so far this season, including that one. But that one is enough to see Palace potentially take some points here. Fokke over the top. Picked off nicely by Lazovic. Tudor with a good touch there. Costa's looking to make a run forward in midfield. So we'll slot him in. Fouling on the right. And quickly into Milic. On through looking for Lazovic, who will get there first. Not Lazovic. Tudor, who will get there first. Brilliantly finished. And Damien Tudor, weirdly, can't do it up top with Samar Salim as a partner anymore, seemingly, so far this season. But on his own, is actually pulling his weight. Maybe a change of formation wouldn't be the worst thing in the world in the starting 11. But I was more thinking of Salim starting up top on his own. But Tudor seems to be suiting that role quite well in this Rotato side. Maybe I do switch to a 1-striker formation. Leave Tudor in Rotato as a starting striker in this 1-striker formation and use Salim as a sole striker in the other. Maybe. 5th goal of the season though. It's not the worst by the end of December or middle of December, but equally it's not the best, certainly by his standards. And Costa out wide. It's a shame for Costa. That long-term injury just kind of forced our hand with the midfield position, and he's lost his first team spot. He's lost his growth, and as such, he's lost his chance to really make a career for himself at the top level, at least regularly. Really did enjoy playing with Costa, but he's just not good enough for the situation we're in right now. Milic. Lovely ball through to Matias Gonzalez. Early shot well blocked by Ginter. He was onside. The timing of the run absolutely perfect. Similarly, the ball through to him. Milic with the delivery from the corner. Berger got up well there. Will use his physicality to hold off the defender that was next to him. Here is Lucas Costa to Ruben Vidal-Pereira. Sorry, Hugo. Oh, Jesus Christ. I knew having 2 Vidal-Pereiras was going to be an issue. Ruben's the centre-back. Hugo's the midfielder. I tell you what, for once in my life, we're actually defending really well today. Really well. Milic to Vidal-Pereira. 2 minutes added on, and we're about to get back-to-back victories in the Premier League, which will be absolutely massive for us. And with the game against Bordeaux coming up, we should hopefully make it 3 from 3. I think 4 from 4 is going to be a bit of a test against Liverpool, but really pleased that Rotato have stepped up there, and that 1-striker formation may be the answer. I'll wait and see what you guys say with regards to the potential of doing that in the starting lineup as well. But it would be an option, I think, now, with the way that the side is adjusting to it, to potentially do that. It would obviously mean that one of Salim or Tudor wouldn't be able to start every single game, and that would be tough to see. But is it a necessary sacrifice to see the next step in evolution of this team? Maybe so. Maybe so. I'll take your feedback on board for it, and then we will make a decision henceforth, moving forward, that potentially could make a big impact on the team and our success rate on the field. We've been winning well. We've won 151 games now. I'm going to sim this with the full strength 11, regardless of the closeness in nature to that game against Liverpool. Top of the group is guaranteed, though, I think. And Bordeaux lose 2-0. Tudor and Ball. So certainly we'll get top of the group. And how did Midtjylland get on? I didn't quite scroll quickly enough. We're not sure. It was actually quite close, wasn't it, for that last or second spot. We're up to 6th. Hello. In the Europa League. it is Midland that get through with victory on the final day by 3-0 against Zurich. Midland have turned it around. 8 points enough for them to come through, and Chisholm will join us in the knockout stages of the Europa League. That's fantastic news. You can see that Nagy has completed his progression and is now 82 rated on the right-hand side of our starting defence, which is great. Games rescheduled. Tournament prize money. That's great. Who have we got in the round of 32? By winning our group, it should be not a side coming down from the Champions League. It's Red Bull Salzburg. Winnable. Absolutely winnable. Right then, Liverpool. Is this winnable? Probably not, but if we can win the game, we will go up to 6th. We're not far away from Manchester United in 5th, you know. This side is starting to make progress, boys. We're getting closer. Oh, as Lucas Ball reaches 90 rated, we're getting closer and closer to being the finished article. Still a long way to go with the state of the back end of the team, but going the other way, we might well be nearly there. Curtis Jones, forward to Diogo Jota, leading the line in the false 9. Curtis Jones trying to find some space to get his shot away. Here's Fabinho. Curtis Jones will get his shot away now, and he will not miss the target at all. Thumped. Liverpool 1, Barrow 0 at Anfield in the first half. The first chance of the game comes, and they bury it, given the opportunity. They just worked my defence about really well, and I didn't cope with Curtis Jones's positioning ability there, hovering on the edge of the box on his own, and again, shot power enough to beat the keeper, although the accuracy of it was pretty damn good as well. Liverpool playing a false 9, so Diogo Jota will be here, there and everywhere, presumably, in their attacking play. We've been defending really well so far today, but we've been caught napping there a little bit. We'll have to improve if we're to get 3 points from this one. So far, it's 3 wins from 3. But might not be 4 from 4, and I did think that might be the case prior to the game, and I'm going to have to play better passes than that, certainly, if we're going to get ourselves back in it. And they're back out on this wing now, and they'll have another corner. Liverpool pressing to try and kill me off here. Mikel Merino will deliver into the box this time. It's not the worst. Fabinho's underneath it, and if you'd had that on target, they may well have scored a second. Merino lost that to Fabinho, who is loving getting forward in this game so far, and doing so again. Space might open up for Curtis Jones. Brilliant block by Nagy. Curtis Jones blocked again. Diogo Jota to Curtis, who's just... Please tell me that was outside the box. It was just outside the box. The referee coming across potentially to book Pumphrey. Surely there's not going to be a massive... Is he just... Yeah, it is a book. I was saying, surely there's not going to be a massive cutscene like that for him to just tell him off. He was so close to being in the box or on the line, but by about 10 inches or so, about a yard, 19 yards out this free kick. Trent Alexander-Arnold really can bend them, but he's bent it straight into Lucas Bull, who then gets to the secondary chance as well. Fabinho could have a crack here from the edge of the box, though. He's got support. Don't foul him. Keeps come for this. Curtis Jones has his and Liverpool's second, and we will fall further behind. To Lucas Bull. We had been defending really well so far today, and I was delighted with the way that the episode was going. But this just showing that there is still an extra step to be made. Liverpool, one of the sides that obviously are the best in the country and the best in Europe, and evidently they are better than us too. Unfortunately, as hard as we may well fight to try and get ourselves towards the top of the table, we certainly aren't challenging for a title yet. Hopefully it won't be long before the side has progressed to the point where we are challenging for the Premier League title. I'd like to next season, provided we can find the right defenders to improve the starting 11, or the defenders that we've got can start to kick on again with their growth. But we're 2-0 down against Liverpool here at half-time, and that's a fair reflection on the way that the game has played to this point. Liverpool are playing better. They are evidently the better side. And I genuinely didn't realise it was quite as one-sided as that, but that basically backs up what I was saying. Diogo Jota looking for Curtis Jones, who's on a hat-trick, but he won't get it. Van der Voort does well to turn, and Hefte forward to Salem. Back to Hefte, and Tudor through that gap, but forced onto his right here. Salem is arriving, and Salem Has his shot really well blocked by Trent Alexander-Arnold. The first time we really cut them open, and there's still a defender in the way. Half an hour to play. Maybe there's a chance. Maybe. But we're going to need more of that. Mikel Merino over the top to Mo Salah. Lovely ball. Salah off the bench for Mane, but it's a poor ball from Mo. Expect better. Not sure how much he may have declined throughout the course of this save, but certainly you would have expected Mo Salah to be better than that. That's a lovely ball to Hefte, who's in here, and Hefte pulls one back. Pick up the ball, Hefte. Oh, 2-2. 2-2. The ball's in the back of the net for a second time. Maybe a comeback is on. It's a nice counter-attack from a misplaced pass from Mo Salah. It's normally the other way around. Me misplacing passes and then getting punished. Liverpool are the ones on the end of the punishment this time around. Okay, Aaron Boadu's come off the bench and he's decided he now wants to torture me instead of Diogo Jota. We'll try and get a second goal, but even if we do get it, I still think it would be harsh on Liverpool not to win this game. Oh no. They're going to get a third now anyway, so it doesn't matter! Game over! And Liverpool just toying with me now, playing the ball about. Well, to be fair, as they have done all game, Lewis can't keep that in, but we can't keep the ball out of the back of the net in this game. Liverpool are going to get a very solid, very convincing 3-1, maybe 3-2, depending on what happens here. Victory over us. Ball in the box, pull it back for a teammate, and Hefte doesn't add a second. Brilliant save by Jarosz to deny us even a second consolation goal. Pumphrey is done. Oh, I was going to say dick all from corners all season. Then he comes up with that. That's a brilliant header. That was reminiscent of Harry Maguire's header at the Euros. Brilliant flicked on header that goes over the keeper into the far corner. If it was Kasper Schmeichel in goal, he'd probably have saved it, but it's not. It's Jarosz. Into the back of the net it flies. We do have one back, but that will be that. If only Marouane Boadou hadn't come on and scored that third goal, we might have stolen a point at Anfield, but it wasn't to be. But hopefully it will be to be for us come the end of the season. Certainly a much more competitive second half, even though they still had all of the ball. At least we were creating chances. Let's see what we can do in the remainder of the month in tomorrow's episode before hopefully ending the season strong in the second half of it. West Brom are 6th currently, so that's certainly a game we should play. Derby at home, pretty sure we'll sim that because they're in the rock bottom of the table, so we'll play Southampton and Aston Villa as well. I don't believe the FA Cup's been drawn yet. Indeed, it hasn't. But with West Brom in 6th, we're only 3 points behind them, and our goal difference is, well, only 2 behind all 3 of the sides above us. So we're relatively well sat to finish at least 6th this season, and if results go our way, and if we can have a strong second half of the season, with Wolves and Manchester United crucially in 4th, and Liverpool only a few points above them, I mean, the Champions League via a league finish isn't too unthinkable for us this season. We'd have to be strong in the second half of the season, but I hope that we could be. We did have a very rocky first 4 or 5 games, and as such, perhaps if we're stronger in those reverse 4 or 5 fixes, we could find ourselves challenging for a Champions League spot via the league this season. Alternatively, we could try and get into the Champions League via the Europa League, and, well, we should be through to the round of 16, you'd like to think, after 2 legs against Salzburg in the round of 32. But, well, we're doing all right this year. We're better than last year and still showing that constant progression year on year. And we're not too far away now from being that finished article. A little bit more growth from those defenders, and maybe one striker is better than 2 with regards to the way we should line up. I'll leave that open to your discussion in the comment section down below. Do drop the video a like though. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more. Follow the link in the description to follow me on Twitch so you can watch the Football Manager and the F1 content. And for now, I'll see you next time.